Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Belinda here and we are working with our May Masterboard. So if you haven't caught this video on making our May Masterboard, head along, I will link it in the description box. Head along, watch that video of putting together this masterboard. Every month I present a challenge that is making a masterboard with a set theme and technique combined. So the theme for this was playing cards and the technique was distressed. So that's where we're at too with May's masterboard. And then the following Friday, which is today, I take that masterboard and make some stuff with it and hopefully inspire you along the way. Or if not, we just have some fun crafting time. Sound fair enough? Okay, let's jump in. So this is my completed masterboard. I didn't do a huge one, and that's okay. Whatever size masterboard you make is good as gold. So I really want to make a belly band first up. So I'm going to trim off a 3-inch strip. Now this happens to be the right height as my typical journal page. So if you can see that, it's a little bit over, but it's pretty much the right height. So I'm not going to worry about the height. I'm just going to trim the width that I need, which is 3 inches I'm going for. Oops, and it moved on me, so let's just readjust. It is quite thick to get through with my guillotine, and it's slippery surface, so it's wanting to move, but I think it ended up slightly less than 3 inches because it moved, so I had to shuffle it across. But it doesn't matter. I will have a little bit of wastage from this, and that's okay. I'm not worried about that, just because I want to do something a bit different, you know. So I'm going to tempt fate here, and I'm going to try and cut off another 1/2 inch, but not all the way. I'm going to stop around midway through this diamond here. That's my goal. So I'm going to try and hold this down really firmly so it doesn't move. And I'm going to try stopping at about the right place. About maybe a little bit more there. Okay, so I've just got this flappy bit. So I'm going to trim that off wherever I got up to. So it's about there. Trim that off with my scissors. And I will save this bit. I'm sure it will come in handy somewhere. Maybe as a tiny little sideways belly band or something. Might be quite useful. So I want to create a tab is what I'm after. So do I want it that long? Do I actually want it shorter? Might just take a pencil. I think I want it a little bit shorter at the top, so maybe we'll cut to about there. Just making a pencil line, and I'm just going to do it with my scissors. And then I'm going to cut that bit off. That one I will throw away. I can't imagine anything I can use that for. So from here I am going to create a little curve like a file tab, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Oops. Round it out a bit. You can use a template or find some other way if you don't want to eyeball it. I'm just going to keep cutting until it looks kind of right. So that's needs to go a bit shallower on the curve. Yeah, I think that looks okay. They're not exactly the same, but it's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to take my ink. I hope you've had a good week, everyone. And just ink that edge that I've cut. The rest of it is already inked, so just getting this cut edge. Yeah, I hope you've had a lovely weekend this week. it is the end of the week, isn't it? The end of the working week for a lot of people. For some people, it might just be starting if you're a weekend worker. The day this year's I will be out round and about with my hubby, having a day out. Right, so I'm going to punch a hole with my crocodile, and I'm going to use the larger hole, and I'm going to put an eyelet in just because I feel like it. I think it'll be a cool, do I want it at the top or the bottom or midway? Let's put it down the bottom actually. Well, more towards the bottom. Let's go about there. Been watching a bit of Margaret from Seven Plaza, and if you watch her channel, you know she loves adding brads and eyelets and stuff, and it's like, I just felt in the mood to do the same. So, tricky part here, I'm using a washer, so it's quite tricky to get everything on and hold it in the right place until you can crimp it. There we go. Oops, I damaged that one slightly. Don't know how I managed that, but that's all right. It's fine. Must have had it not quite on square, but it's on and it is fine. It's a junk journal. It looks fine. There's just a little bit of shiny metal poking through, but I'm not worried. Not worried. So from that we could put a little dangle, a little bulb pin, safety pin. You know, I don't want to bulk it up too much because it will be attached to a page, like so. And we'll be sliding our journal card, whatever. I'm looking around for something. You know, our big journal card will slide in behind there, or folded paper of some description. But I have a different idea, and I forgot to grab it out. I'm going to put some tulle just attached onto the eyelet, or through the eyelet, because I think that just will look cute. So I'm wondering about this colour. Do we want this colour? It's kind of a greeny gold colour. Or do we want the brown? I think I am actually tending towards the brown for this. So just pulling some out the middle, gonna cut a strip straight across. It never works out perfectly straight, and I don't worry about it because it still looks good. Right, I don't think we need that again. Oops, tulle flying everywhere. Okay, so it's very uneven. It doesn't at all matter. Just going to fold it in half. Tricky part's actually putting it through the eyelet. Oh, come on. You can go through there. It's not a small hole. Come on. Poke enough through that I can then pull it. And I'm going to pass the ends through the loop. And I love tulle because it holds on to itself. It doesn't easily come loose. And then just trim up a little bit like that. So that's going to sit on the page, whichever page, side of the page. Oh, there's grubby marks on. That's glue. That's a glue goober. Must have been on my my mat, and it's picked it up off the mat. So it's going to sit on our page, and we're going to tuck something fun in behind. Now, decorate it up, absolutely. You know, apart from the eyelet and the bit of tulle there, maybe if I put it on there, you can actually see it better. Because I think the tulle gets lost on the mat, doesn't it? Because it's, you know, see-through. I'm just wondering whether I do need to trim it down slightly. It is slightly too long. I think I just want to take a wee snip off. And I'm going to take it off this plainer end because this has got pattern up here. So I'm just going to eyeball it. and it will end up slightly shorter than my typical page, which is actually how I like it. That's kind of straight, so we'll run with that. Right, decorating. How would we like to decorate it? My mind's gone blank. Oh, things falling down. Oh, falling down. Yep. Why not? Let's have everything fall off the shelf. I'm just kind of looking to see whether there's a stamp that I want to use, and looking at my close to my heart stamps. Maybe that one. But the trouble is I set things on top of them, so I created an avalanche. This one's maybe is kind of grabbing me. I love that you can just like lay them on and have a look and see. They may not be big enough. How would it look? I'm going to peel the tree off. I kind of lay it up. That could be kind of fun. Okay. Right. So I have backed my masterboard with this newsprint style paper. It's a bit heavier than typical newsprint, and it's also whiter, but not white. Like, if you can see that, it's quite creamy. But I'm going to stamp on this. And I'm going to stick with black, I think. And then I'm going, oops, it's stuck to the playing cards. And then I'm going to cut them out and layer them on. I could have gone green with the tree actually, but let's stick with the graphic nature, because this is very graphic. The playing cards are graphic, so I want to kind of stick with that kind of look. Not perfectly stamped, but it is good enough. Now I need a stamp off sheet. Let's just grab this bit of newsprint. This is more the newsprint I'm used to, the grey. Okay, it needs a good clean afterwards. I'll just pop it back on that acetate for now. And then this door or gate. Door or gate, I'm not sure. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's not wide enough. Let's grab a slightly bigger block, which is filthy. Oh, and there's a hair or something stuck on there. It's cat fur. Wouldn't you know it? It's cat fur. It's not because we've got any cats around or anything, is it, Snuggles? Right, so this one's going to be on top of the tree. Actually, are we going to do another one of those trees, or the littler tree? Maybe the smaller tree. Or there's a like bushes or something here as well. Yeah, I haven't actually used some of these stamps, so it's not surprising that the first time out the gate they're not performing. And plus I'm working on a surface that's not particularly suited either. Now maybe the small tree. Let's build ourselves a little scene. Hopefully, I hope this works. I haven't tried it out. Let's just make sure it's all on that paper underneath, otherwise I'm going to end up with a even worse stamped image. I've just bought 3 more sets of the Close to My Heart stamps, So hopefully they'll arrive in the next day or so. I always keep an eye out on Facebook for people selling off the older ones, because you can pick up a good bargain. I like paying $5 a set. That's my price that I prefer. So if sometimes I'll pay 10 if I really want it, but otherwise I just bide my time and wait for one that I really like to come up for $5. Right, so I'm not going to do a true fussy cut. I'm just going to very close to, though, just leaving a very narrow border. I'm starting with this one because that little tree needs just a little bit more drying time. Could colour these in if you wanted. You know, your stamped images, whatever stamps you use. If you use stamps, use whatever you like to decorate. Fussy cuts or stickers, magazine images, book page images. All the usual suspects. You could just use decorative bits of paper to overlay. Book page, text. That's a point. Do I want to put any text in behind? Or a splash of something, some colour. I better have a look at that before I glue these down. So the idea of using the playing cards was a middle of the night concoction of my brain, and seems to have generated a pretty good response in people, and that it's a interesting idea. So I hope you enjoy what I then make with my masterboard, and I'd love to see what you end up making with yours if you make one. There's numerous ways that you can share it with me on Instagram, on my Facebook group Visual Vibes, or even email if you are not on social media. And you should be able to find my email address through my link tree, I think. Pretty sure it's in there. I suppose I should check one day, make sure it is, but just for now, for this moment, I'm going to assume that it is there. So I'm not doing all in amongst the branches, I'm just doing around the outside. Keep it simple. Oh, I'm very tired today. I was just busy yawning there. That's why I went silent. And I've got to go out just a few minutes before 3. So it's almost 2 now. So I've got to keep an eye on the time. We should be well and truly done, I would hope. But yeah, just got to, you know, change my top because it's a bit grubby, and, you know, check my hair, run to the loo, all those things that you do before you head out the door. And I want to make a cake for my hubby's birthday tomorrow. I'll make the cake tomorrow, but since I've got to go out today, I thought I'd go to the supermarket, and I want to make an orange cake. It's my own recipe. It's sugar-free, grain-free cake. It's really yummy. I haven't made it for a long time, so I'd like to make that as his birthday cake, but I need an orange, and I just noticed that we're very low on butter, so I'll probably have to get some butter as well, because we won't have enough. Not that the cake actually takes much butter, because there's other things in it for liquids. There's yogurt and orange juice, etc., and lemon juice. But yeah, don't want to run out of butter. Right, let's see whether these, now that I've done that, whether these actually look any good. Lay it up. Technically, I think the small one should be in behind because it's in the distance. Shall we try that? But it could be just a small. Yeah, no, I like it the other way around. This is a big tree, so it's bigger. This is just a little sapling, so it's smaller. It's got nothing to do with perspective or distance. I actually like it further down there, I think. Now, they are kind of blending together a little bit, so I'm going to ink around the edges. And I'm still hoping that this is actually going to turn out okay, and that it's not all a giant waste of time. Oops, a bit tricky to ink around that. So let's grab a bit of paper. And think about what we might want to put in behind, if anything. I think it would be quite nice to add a bit of something. What I actually am not sure of right now. Do we want some napkin maybe? Possibility. I think because we've got a very limited colour palette going on. We've got the browns of the distressing. We've got the red and the black. So I'm thinking something with a little bit more colour going on might be quite lovely. Right, so they're inked up. Might have to trim off a little bit off the edge of that one. What colour would work? Something still in the neutral family, although we've got the red. The red is definitely not neutral. This is a lovely serviette. I believe that was sent to me. Was it sent to me in Happy Mail, or was it from a recent? No, it might be from a recent ladies' afternoon tea I went to, actually. Don't think I want the bird. Maybe the butterflies might work. No, they're going to get lost. It's too neutral, I think. Okay, back to the drawing board. You want a splash of colour, like go the other way totally. Take one of the pies. Yeah, this is it. Now how big a bit do I want? Let's just randomly tear. Don't know whether that's appropriate. I think I need to tear this bit as well. Like that. Puss, be nice. He's just playing with his sister, but he actually injured her slightly yesterday when he decided to play fight with Snuggles. I noticed this morning she's got a little chunk of fur out under her chin, a little wound, and it's like, yeah, settle down, boy. You're 15. should know better. Call me weird, but I really like that splash of yellow. I think it just lifts everything. So I'm going to grab my glue stick. I was just hunting for it there for a moment, and kind of smush some glue around roughly where I need it. Yeah, it's nice when they're playing and play fighting, but not if one of them gets injured in the process. So he was a bit too full on yesterday for an old boy. Yes, I'm talking about you, Puss. He actually needs to be fed his lunch, even though it's 2 o'clock, because he wanted lunch at 11:30, and I says, no, you can wait, and then he disappeared. So it's his own fault. He walked away. He still had some of his breakfast in his dish though, so he did eat that at 11:30. So he probably wasn't hungry when it came 12, or was not super hungry. But he can wait now until I'm ready. And behave himself. Right, just trimming off the overhang. Gee, I seem to be taking a long time to do this. I hope we get more than just the belly band done. Now, did I want that actually at the bottom? Better decide before I put my images on. Because once they go on, the direction is locked in, and something is falling down behind me. It's the slow avalanche. Yep, gonna lock that in. Just move some of my mess here so I can get to my glue pages. Random bits of paper flying around. I'm going to overhang that off the edge of the belly band, and I will trim off the overhang. Now our wee door, I think it's a door. Pretty sure it's a door as opposed to a gate. It's pretty cool anyway. I thought it was a nice image, and the main reason I bought this particular stamp set because I like this stamp. I thought it was lovely. So it's just a little peep of yellow between them two, kind of help very minimally separate them out visually. And that be one in there. And we've created a little scene with stamps. So just trim off those bits that are hanging over. Just a tiny little bit over this side. And then I'm going to ink where the tissue goes and where those stamped images are. and it's nice and sturdy because of the playing cards, you know, made of being cardstock, and then a couple of layers of paper in there as well. Right, I'm also thinking some sort of words. What do we have here? Our family tree has strong roots because of you. Well, no, that's more of a card sentiment, I think. Excuse my squeaky chair. What have we got? Dreams, is that? Oh, my phone's singing. I obviously forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. My apologies. I don't think it was super loud though. This is actually coffee dyed cardstock. Trim it down a bit. I like that. Okay, that wasn't too difficult to choose one. I want quite a dark edge, so I'm making sure I get plenty of ink on there just to lift it up from the background. Yeah, I like that. So tacky glue definitely for this, being cardstock going on to cardstock. Give it a decent amount of glue. And press it and hold it for a few moments. And then we can move on to another piece of ephemera. Right, I think that should be good. So there's our little belly band, very simply decorated, but I just don't want to take away from the graphical nature of the playing cards, because otherwise you might as well just use any old scraps. Okay, now I've buried the rest of my masterboard, so let me grab it out. Put this one up here. Okay, so from here, decisions. I have enough, I could make 2 journal cards, or I could make a tag. Let's do a tag. So I'm just looking at which part I might like as a tag. I'm thinking this end, which I need to put it around the other way. How wide a tag do I want? 2.5 inches. Yep, 2.5 inches I'm going to go, and holding really tight so hopefully it doesn't move on me this time. I don't think it moved. Woohoo! So already pre-backed. Oh, I don't need to distress the back of the belly band, but I will need to distress the back of this. I am actually going to chop this top end into the tag shape. So this is 2.5 inches wide by 6 inches, just under 6 inches long. I want to do a slot punch in this one. Why not? Let's go for it. Eyeballing about the middle. And it went through it no problem. I was wondering, oh, is it going to punch it okay? But it performed like a charm. Let's get those cut edges. Oops, I'm leaning on the table as I'm inking and making the table bounce. Let's just quickly whip around the back so it's done. I've got things in my way, I can't reach my ink. It's got a slight bend in it where the cards join, but I think it will be okay. If that's a problem, you could put a heavier bit of paper on the back so that it doesn't bend the same, but I think it will be fine. It'll be fine, you know, it's not like it's going to be a playing card that you're using and then going to bend at that point. It's just going to be taken out, written on, or looked at and popped back in the pocket. So I think it will be fine, but something to consider for you. It has got 2 layers of paper, so I don't think it's going to ever, you know, I don't think it will rip or anything. But another idea is we could reinforce it at that point with washi tape or something of that nature. And I am thinking maybe I should do just that. But not just a random strip, like we need to make sense of that somehow. What type of washi tape is the question. Do we want something with a bit of colour? Don't really want the pink with the red. I have a black and green that could work, or green. Again, this is, and well, it's kind of got red colour. This has got flowers and leaves and bees. I actually don't mind that one. Shall we go with that one? Let's do it, people. Let's do it. I'm going to put this down, and then whatever we do, we'll cover parts of it or all of it. But that's fine. I do think I'm going to run this over the glue stick though. So if you do find you've got some weak spots where the cards are bending slightly, you can easily remedy it with something like this. Okay, which bee do I prefer to have in there? Do that one since it's a straight edge. A straight? Is it a straight edge? Well, it's close. Do I want to wrap that round? I guess I am. Decision made. Just thinking about putting another little strip down the bottom here. Not so much for reinforcing, but just because one strip I find is random. If you add more strips, it suddenly becomes a design element and on purpose. I'm just going to put it part way across, and there's a wee seam here between the cards, so it will reinforce that part, and then it gives us an extra bit to wrap around the back here, so it gives a little decoration on the back. And then do we want any more? Do we want a vertical bit somewhere, or another? Let's just do another horizontal bit, just because, you know, the rule of threes. Let's go there. So they may end up being covered, but that's okay. Just all adds to the overall look in the finish. So this one's not covering a seam at all. Yeah, no, I don't want it up there. Just want it maybe and wrap it around. So we've got 3 decorative bits that wrap around onto the back, which I think is quite lovely. Just little hints and still perfectly writable. And that's just going to help reinforce that point where it wanted to keep bending, and already it feels, it feels a lot more stable. Okay, so how would we like? I'm thinking, do I want shawl or do I want some lace or fabric? Let's have a wee dig in my wee pottle here. A little bit of ribbon and some black lace. Black. What am I talking about? Does that look black to you? It is not black. Red lace, and it might be a wee bit wide for the slot. I'm creating a mess. I'm boxing myself in and making it very hard to work for myself. I don't mind if it folds up a little bit. Oh, I do like that. I do like it. Okay, we're going to do that. Snip it off there. Move that out my way to open up one side of my box. Now, how am I going to attach it? Or do I want to tie it with something? Decisions, people. Decisions can be the hardest thing in the world, particularly when you're tired. Oh, my stomach's making funny noises too. It must be my tea going down. Speaking of which, let me have a sip. It's almost cold. Thinking, do I just want to glue it? Actually, I've got this glue that the lovely Laurel sent me, and I have not used it. Paper, photos, poster board. Okay, so it might not be for fabric. Okay, I thought, oh, maybe it will be good for the lace, but it wouldn't be a fair test for my first use of it if it doesn't mention fabric on the label. You won't be unfair judges. So to my alcohol based glue we shall go. I was close to the shop that I normally buy this glue for on last Friday, and I would have liked to have called in and got another bottle, because this one is so low. I just didn't have the time, which was very unfortunate. So maybe this Friday when we're out and about, hubby and I, maybe we can call in there. But we're out and about for it's his day off in lieu of his birthday. His birthday's Wednesday, so he's got Friday off. So, I don't want to load up his day off with things that I want to do, because that wouldn't be very fair, would it? I mean, he would happily take me anywhere and do anything, but that I feel would be mean of me, even though he would enjoy doing that for me. Okay, so that's just glued on. It's pretty quick drying, so it should be fine. Cute little topper there. Again, how do we want to decorate this? Going to my pre-stamped bits and pieces. I haven't got a lot in this little box. I need to really concentrate on stamping more of this type of thing so that they're ready. Just kind of wondering about, this one's shorter, but it's white. Oh, I've got bits on my scissors. Let's get rid of that. I don't know what sort of paper this is. It's a very pretty colour. It's the same stamp, but this one I stamped twice and kind of lined it up roughly. And the other one was just stamped once. something like that. I've got some keys here. Do we want a key? Don't know. Just loosely kiss cutting it. Oh, fire's dying down a bit. I'm starting to feel a bit cool. Keep an eye on the time. Oh, it's 2:25. I feel like I'm running out of time. So we might not get the whole masterboard done. Is that surprising? Have I ever done the whole masterboard? Probably not. Kind of feeling like a black and white image of a person would be really nice. But I can't think of anywhere that I've got one ready to go, or where I might find one in a hurry. Which, yeah. Which is a shame, because I think that would be really nice, sort of laid in. I've got this encyclopedic dictionary. Like there are some illustrations here of people, so I wonder if we can find like a bust. There's some people, but I was more like just the torso, just the bust of a person, head and upper torso, and of a reasonable size. I think those ones are a bit small for what I'm after, although would they fit within? We could go bird. They're quite cool, aren't they? They're very cool images. I love this type of book. The images in them are always just stunning. These ones got numbers pointing all over them, which is very unfortunate. I'm not sure that I like that. Just keeping my finger in that page with all the small people. Oh, judo? Yeah, judo. It's not looking hopeful, friends. Horses. Yeah, musculature and bones. Not quite the look I'm going for. Not on this anyway. Fencing. Okay, let's just tear this page out. And maybe I could just like sit them inside the frame instead. And they've got numbers and lines pointing at them too, but maybe that will actually work. What are different centuries or different decades or eras? Eras is the right word, isn't it? So I'm just looking which one might I like. Let's just go this one because he's got lots of lines coming out from him. Oh, he's too tall. Yep, they're all too tall for the space, even if I take the text off the bottom. Okay, rethink. Maybe that's not the go. Okay, at the risk of spending too long. Oh yeah, we're running out of time, my friends. Can I quickly see something in this encyclopedia? It tends to be diagrams and maps and things. I'm sure there should be people in here somewhere, but it just might be the wrong... Oh, look at him. Natasha. Big eyes. Tanning. I can almost smell that image. Not the kind of images I'm after. Well, this is proving quite fruitless, isn't it? I'm kind of wondering about this tarsier. Whether we could make that work in lieu of a person. Oops, book's falling over. Key doesn't really make much sense now. Do we want to get rid of the film strip? I like the film strip. It's trouble when you get something in your brain, trying to make it work can sometimes be a pain, and you do need to ditch it because it's not working. But I just like the film strip on there. Could be a film about the tarsier, a program. I don't mind that. Okay, I'm going to do it because we're running out of time and I'm dithering around and you're probably bored out of your brains. So let's move it along. Make some decisions. Oh, you got through a couple of my books. Very briefly. I don't know how much you were able to see. I should actually swap them out, or that big blue one, the one I took this image out, should swap it out for a different volume because I've been working from that volume for a while and I think maybe I need to grab a different one out so I have some different inspiration. Might not be a bad idea, eh? Switch around, have a change of scene. This is very, very thin paper, so I'm just going to carefully go around the edge. I just had a thought I could distress it up actually. I could tear it or crumple it or something, but I don't think we've got time for me to muck around too much, so I'm just going to glue it on as is, with the ink of course. There we go, and I think I'll use glue stick. Let's find a bit that's not too gluey. Now this shouldn't curl even with the glue stick because it is playing cards. Snuggles, get off the bench. No, you're not allowed on the bench. I can't see her, but I can hear her, and I know exactly what she's done. She's a little toad, and I have meat defrosting on the bench, which I know is perfectly safe because she won't eat any meat. You can show her the choicest bit of anything, and she'll just sniff it, lick her lips, and walk away. She's a really bizarre cat. Right, something round, I think. So I'm going to go for the Junk Journal Studios labels from days gone by. Boom. That was quick. Can happen sometimes. Just stress around the edge where I can see haven't cut it particularly well. Take away the white that's showing. Yep, she's jumped down now. She announced that she was doing it before she jumped up. She gave a little warble, and it's so her. When she's about to do something she knows she shouldn't, she actually tells us. And if we catch her and say, "What are you doing?" she'll do that same warble, and then she'll go ahead and do it while we're standing there watching. She is so adorable and cute and naughty. Right, here we go. And to finish that off, I think a word, actually a number. Do we want a number? Might as well finish it up properly, even though we're, oh no, I don't want purple. Kind of really out of time. No, can't put it over his head. Can we, poor little fellow? Can't blind you. It's got some blue on it, but it's the best one so far. Too deep. Don't want orange. Or do we want a really small number like this? Oh yes, that's the one. That's the one, my friends. Just going to quickly put it on with tacky glue. It's got a black border, so I'm not going to worry about distressing it, because you wouldn't see. Just layering up some elements. So there we have, I think, a lovely little tag. And we've got our belly band. And how long? Oh, we've got like 2 minutes. I'm just going to quickly chop this into remaining bits of ephemera, and then we'll leave it there, because we're out of time. Boy, that went quick. And I've got to leave in like 15 minutes. So, right, so this is, let's look at the dimensions quickly. Just under 6 by just over 5.5. So I'm thinking, am I thinking? Do 4 by 6. That'd make a good sized journal card, wouldn't it? Let's do that. Okay, so that's going to be a journal card. I'll probably round the corners or snip them. Gee, my fingers are grubby. So that's that one, and then this one I think will be a narrow tag. I think be another wee tag, so just a bit narrower than that one and shorter. So we have a journal card and a tag still to make. That tag there, and the belly band with our fun little eyelet with the tulle out the side. I think that's cute. Okay, that's it for the May Masterboard. I've still got a couple of pieces to make. I hope you enjoyed this May's challenge, and that you're inspired to give it a go. Jump on in. Love to have you play along. Have a great afternoon or evening or morning, whatever time of day you're watching, and I'll see you back for the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.